One
Right.
more show at 11 o'clock tonight. That's what I've got.
That's all you got. Okay, mate. Look
Yeah.
forward to that. 11 o'clock. Wow, it's late. Right. Good morning to everyone out there in Trader World, into ATW Trader World. Um,
Morning, mate.
Good morning,
We
buddy.
wish you a Merry Christmas.
You're going to get us banned.
No, surely I haven't got any copyright on that, have I?
Well, we have got the last day for us before, as you quite poignantly point out in many ways, the last day before Christmas for us, mate.
Mate, it is, and wow, what an incredible year it's been. Not just from our point of view, but where are we? Year 3 or 4 of Brexit.
Yeah,
Trump impeached now.
yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah. We almost need a greatest hits, don't we? That's what they do, don't
Well,
they? These radio stations, they kind of have the song of the year or the song of the decade.
yeah, they
if
do.
It's,
Yeah, yeah,
if it's
yeah.
like that.
God knows where you look for that, because there's so many things to look at.
Yeah, yeah.
Trade wars and
Yeah, gosh, yeah.
where does it end?
Yeah, we should have done a run of the year. It was Rocket Man this year as well.
Oh yes, little Rocket Man.
Yeah. So we've had Rocket Man.
I thought you were talking about the movie for a minute.
No.
Which I enjoyed. Did you see that?
I didn't, mate. No, I don't really like Elton John, and there's about 5 songs that I love. Don't get me wrong. I love Tiny Dancer. I love Yellow Brick Road. I love Benny and the Jets, and there's a few in there that I really really like of his, but he's just a bit too much of a queen, and I don't mean that in a kind of homophobic way. I mean that he's a diva. Maybe that's a better way to put it.
He's precious, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's too much of a diva for me. So I find him a little bit of a difficult.
Mind you,
watch.
He's got the runs on the board to be that, I suppose.
He does. That is very true. But I would only counter that with Bowie, and I don't think he was ever really like that. He might have been, but I think there's a few of them out there that are just normal guys,
Yep, run-of-the-mill dudes who.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think
I
think any human being has got the right to kind of like bark what they want to another one. I think you can be stern about it and know what you want, but to bark it and expect it to be done yesterday, I just think it's just a bit disrespectful and a little bit superior.
I take your point. Absolutely.
But that's a Bohemian Rhapsody, however, I loved, and now I love Freddie Mercury, and I know he's a bit of a diva as well, but it feels a bit different with him. I don't know why, but it just does. But I like, love Queen. So Bohemian Rhapsody was a big hit for me.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. Must do so.
That's a really good movie, and if you like the Beatles, the film Yesterday is also great as well.
Yeah, I brought up. Sorry, I grew up with the Beatles pretty much. And,
yeah.
I was kind of a little bit young.
Okay.
To fully get into them, but
yeah,
certainly the parties that I can actually remember, there were a lot of music. Beatles were certainly front and center of that. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the markets today, mate. We haven't really discussed the markets over the year.
Yeah, there's a reason for that for me. I'm not that interested, mate. I got to say.
No. What today?
It's getting a little bit close to Christmas for me.
Yeah.
And, there's lots of stuff on, and really, there's too many distractions for me to sit down in front of the charts and go, gee, I rub my hands together. Today's the day. I'm going to have a wonderful day of trading. I just haven't got that buzz about me at the moment.
Yeah.
And, when that happens, I tend to go, well, okay, it's time to turn the charts off.
Well, I'm just cleaning up my chart so we can see what's going on here. Just taking these trade levels off. I've got a few trades on, so I've got a bit of management to do for me.
Yeah, me too. I've only got one in this show, I think, that I have to manage. But you go through yours, and then I'll go through mine. And
I'm quite
pound.
The short.
That first.
Yeah, let's look at the pound. Yeah, just quickly, I think there is a short on with this market. So, your stops are going to have to be around about 30 or so. Yeah, I'd say 30 pips for safety. But there is a short in this market, and it's
well, do the trade. There's nothing.
I don't know.
happening
It's
at the pound.
okay. It's all right. I mean, that's literally it. It's a difficult one, to be honest, and it's difficult to call because there's not really a big driver to the downside. I thought the impeachment might do it, but there's a bit of weakness up here, but it's just nothing. It's very difficult to get your teeth around. So there's a potential short, and it's a good sell zone. It's really for everybody else to make up their mind on it. I think if you want to get the short in, it's around about, say, 25-30 pips stop loss. You're really aiming for on your daily chart, you're aiming for around about 60 pips. So there's a potential 2-to-1 out there if people are interested. But I think everybody will have to make a call on that. Let's see if we can quickly get to the pound trade, because the pound is in the news today.
Okay, and it is rallying as we speak. I'll take a quick squiz and see. Well, yes, I will on that one. Hope you don't disappear. I haven't got the prompt yet. What's it doing? Are we seeing my screen or not?
Let me see. No, I don't think we are, actually.
No, I don't think we are.
Hold on, I'll stop sharing. Again. There you go, mate.
Okay. Share. Here we go. Looks like we're in like Flynn here. Righto. So you should be able to see my chart very, very soon. Okay, the candle has closed. We need an entry above this bar here, and we need our entry 1, 2, 3 below this bar here. So let's fix that up. But before we do, I don't think we're going to get taken into that anytime soon. This is very close to yesterday, actually. Very close. Which is telling me something even before we start. So yesterday, that was the bar that we would have traded. So entry short under here, entry long here would have been taken in, if not on that bar, then certainly on that bar. And you would have then gone onto a 15-minute chart. Let me mark that. So in the market there, onto a 15-minute chart. And okay, trailing 2 black bars, right? So one there. So your stops would have moved wherever they were to here. Then you're looking for another 2. Then they would have moved to here. Then you're looking for another 2. They would have moved to here. Stops here, and you're out, right? So you would have lost on that one. You would have lost about 3.5 pips, and this is what I like about this this so far, the evidence that we've got so far. Every loser has been very, very small, and the winners sometimes big. That's a good formula for me. So I'm happy with the way that's working at the moment. So let's have a look at today. And hi, Lewis. Sorry, mate. I've been a little bit distracted as I always am.
No problem, mate. No problem.
Good to have you on board, as always. Okay, so our entry is going to be 10 pips above the high of that bar, which is at 1.31196. Let's call that 1.3120, and our entry will therefore become 1.3130. It'd be nice to be able to see that. Let me make it white, perhaps. Okay, so that's very close. That didn't do anything for me. 30 is what we're looking for. You know, not one person has offered a different way to trade this yet. That's interesting. Okay, the low is 3 bars. That's the low of the 3 bars, and 1.30759. We'll call it 1.3075. I always round down. So we'll call the entry 1.3070, which is pretty close to there. Okay, all is well with the world. So entry long is 1.3130. Entry short is 1.3070. Right, mate, back to your trade. Or not. Ash may have ducked out. Okay, let's talk about Euro Yen then. We traded this yesterday. Or was it the day before? No, it was yesterday, right? So we entered the market here. And I was actually trading this bar here, believe it or not, which was at that time the lower high. And I wanted to get my entry below the daily pivot. As you can see, that was a wise thing to do. And we didn't get triggered on that trade until here. Now, when I trade, no matter what time frame I'm trading, when I see an entry, I like to see something, some action, not this. This is garbage and complete confusion, and the market's got no idea what it wants to do. So the method of my trading is to find liquidity spots, right? If there's no liquidity here, then something else is happening. And when that happens, I start to think, okay, this is incredibly sticky and could go the opposite direction, straight back to here, and I don't want to be put in that position. So what I did was move my stop to entry, and guess where we are right now? We are 0.5 of a pip from entry, and we are now 1 day and about 4 or 5, no more than that, 8 hours into this trade. Not interested. Doesn't do anything for me at all. So that's exactly why I did what I did. And if I can find another entry short, then I'll take it. Yes, but I'm happy. I'm just so happy that I'm out of this, because you've got to be second guessing yourself all the time, going, "Oh, what's that candle mean? What's that candle mean? What's that candle mean?" What, doesn't interest me. Don't care. I just want to get in the market and find the liquidity, and it wasn't there. So I'm happy now to be out of that trade. What I'm seeking is maybe price back to here. Then I can look to trade it again, because the sequence would still be there. And really nothing else to say on Euro Yen. The Aussie, we've been trading this since when? It's been in the market a while. The 11th. Okay, so we're 8 days into this. And look, to be absolutely frank, it still looks okay to me. We've got two lots of profit in the bank. We've got our stops at entry, and we've got a cycle that's going higher, 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 low, higher, 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 low. If we break out of here today, I'd be most pleased. Whether that's happening or not is another story. But with the impeachment, who knows? Who knows what the market's going to say about the impeachment?
Yeah, it's interesting that, isn't it? Because the thing is, he's not going to lose in the Senate.
No,
but I think the fact that they have sort of they've impeached him at this particular juncture, it just adds that little bit of uncertainty, doesn't it, kind of going into the week.
But do we then think, okay, what if the Republicans said, you know what, we've got a better candidate now. This guy's gone the nose. Maybe it's not a bad idea if we put the front guy up now, with a year to go before the election.
Well, that's a potential take, isn't it?
Well, it is. I mean, it may be way off beat, but if I'm a Republican, maybe that's the way I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And they might just cross the floor, if that's what it's called over there.
Yeah.
And go, all right, let's vote for the impeachment.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's way out of left field, I know, but it's something to think about.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's a possibility. I don't know who else they've got actually, but surely that person, yeah, they would have been touted already. I would have thought, but yeah, I mean, it is a possibility.
Look, everything's possible, and if I've learned one thing about trading markets over many years, it's that anything can happen at any time.
Yeah, and
that's why we trade at 1, 2, 3% rather than 30, 40,
Yes.
50% of
Yeah.
our account, you know,
Yes.
because anything can happen at any time. You know, we're pawns in this game. You know, we're not leaders.
Yeah.
So we've just got to be very, very cautious at all times and look at all possibilities. I think, you know. So to me, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
And if that were to happen, then the Aussie goes to my target, which is and has always been very clear. And there it is, right there, at 170.81 from memory. Yes, it is. So look, I actually think we'll get there. How we get there and how long it takes to get there, and if our stock can be safe where it is, then who knows. But at the moment, I'm quite happy with where we are. We've got a massive higher low here. We've got the potential for this now to go on and create another higher high. Happy days. The issue, of course, right now is this trend line. We've been unable to break it at this point. But I do note, as I look at this trend line, that we kind of opened. Is there a little gap in the market there?
What currency are you looking at?
It doesn't look like it. Aussie dollar.
I don't think so. Not on my chart.
No. Just trying to work out how that worked. Yeah, it's a tiny gap there, but it's only tiny. You can see it there. That's what drew my attention to it. I mean, it's a few pips and only a few pips. Was that on Monday? Yeah, it was. So yeah, it's bugger all. Good old eagle eye here found a gap that doesn't really mean anything, I suppose. All right, so yeah, look, nothing. There it is. There you can see it. I'm not going to do a thing, guys. And if I'm not in this trade, it's difficult to get in because now you've broken through resistance again. Nothing to say, mate, about Aussie dollars. Just stay where you are. If you're in the trade, happy days.
Yeah.
I'm leaving the pound pairs alone because of tomorrow. Euro, look, I'm still bearish the euro, and I'm late into this. I know I should have got in here if there was to be a trade, but it's against my rules. High test, low test together don't work for me. Does this bar work for me at all? You know, the rejection almost, but it's closed above the daily pivot. Something I like. I do like to see that sort of price action, because what it means to me is, okay, if we are above the daily pivot, then the buyers are going to see that and they're going to come in if they're serious. If they're not, then these guys who've been lining up and seeing this bar and probably this turnaround are ready to go as well. So, you know, there's a worse trade to take than this one, I think, underneath that bar. It's a little bit small for me. And what I'd really like to see happen is price to get up to here, break this level, come back underneath it, retest it, then go short. I think that's probably where I'd like to go with the euro. But again, guys, you know, I'm speaking only hypothetically because I am not going to take any of these trades because I won't be in front of the markets. I'm just giving my opinion, and that's it. Simple as that. So, mate, really, Aussie CAD was another one I was looking at. Why? Because we're at the bottom of the range. If you were a scalper, you would have jumped on that this morning, and you would have made good money, probably. As a non-scalper and waiting for a setup, it's really not there yet. It looks nice as a false break, I've got to say, but is it there? Is it tradable? Answer no. If this comes back, however, then I think there's a trade. Let's get rid of that line there. So you can see where I'm going with this. Broke, consolidated, back above, even got above the monthly pivot. That's gorgeous. Retest here, yum. That's really good. Even if this doesn't reach this trade line, this looks really good to me. Entry above that bar. And you really want this to cross the weekly pivot. That's what I want to happen. So I want to close here somewhere or here somewhere. If that were to be the case in an hour and 46 minutes, and I'm telling a lie because I will be in front of the charts later in the night. So if I see that, I'll have to trade it because that's just straight out of my manual that one day I won't ever write a manual. I won't do it. this is really prime territory for me. So I want to see it close down here somewhere, mate. Then there's a trade on Aussie Cat. But I think that's all I was interested in. I've eliminated the pound pairs, as I said, and to me, it's kind of manage the Aussie trade. No, I don't even need to manage the Aussie trade. It's just let it go.
Yeah.
Bank advice. There's nothing to do. Just if it goes to target, it goes to target. If it doesn't, who cares? Well, no, that's not true. That's a terrible thing to say. If it doesn't go to target, it isn't a problem. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Euro yen, Lewis, I feel you're right. That's why I'm happy to be out of it, as I said. And if it goes there, then I'm absolutely happy to go back in again, because my bias remains short euro yen, but ain't got nothing right now. So that's me, mate. I'm pretty much done for the day, the week, the year.
Great stuff, mate. Okay, that's good. The FTSE is struggling actually today as well. So I'm looking at shorts in the FTSE 100 as well today. It's got to come back a little bit, but I quite like the short on this one. So I think there's a high chance that could happen here. But I think everybody's just got to trade the FTSE as you know it. You know, it's got to be one of those really today. I think it's going to struggle.
You want to share, mate?
Yeah, let me quickly share the screen.
Oh, Ravinda, you're still on the buy. Okay, cool.
Oh,
that's right. We spoke about that last week. Awesome trade, man. That's an awesome trade.
Which one's that?
Well done. Remember Ravinda last week on the euro yen? Just amazing trade.
Yes.
Really, really good.
Yes, that is a good trade.
Show us your chart again, mate. And Ravinda, where did you get in? That was an incredible, mate. Incredible trade. Really, really nice. So you were hoping I'm right, aren't you? and that Lewis is right. It's going further up.
Right, let's have a quick look then. Let's have a quick look. See what we got here.
Sorry, mate, I'm coming out of left field there, but I just noticed Ravinda's question.
Yeah, no, that's good. That is good.
And
okay.
we remember it was an awesome trade.
Am I sharing?
You are, but
okay.
I'm looking at the FTSE.
Okay, we want to look at the euro yen. Actually, no, FTSE, just quickly. There is a trade short on the FTSE right now. So you want to take this short on. Your stop's at the high, so we're looking at a 30 pip stop. Let me see if I can bring it onto your screen. So you're looking at 75.37. I mean, up here is the real is the best price here. It's 47, but it's just kind of like tipped up and it's just ticking down again. But the FTSE looks like a really good short today. So looking at a 30 pip stop loss, and your target is around about 60 pips. And then you want to get out because I think that the market is still quite keen. So you have to be kind of careful if you're going for too much with the FTSE. But yeah, FTSE 100 is a short today. Right, let's have a look at Ravinda's. So Ravinda's is the euro yen.
120.29.
120.29. Let's have a look at this on the.
So 170 pips ago.
120.29. 120. Oh gosh, that is a good trade. 29. Great. And I remember this trade. Actually, let's have a look at this on.
Yeah, we spoke about. We had a good look at it last week.
Yes, we did. Let me just put this on clean because I remember this one, and I'm going to put it on a daily chart. That was the trigger there, wasn't it?
I've got to tell you, I'm very pleased. I'm out of the trade short, mate.
That's a really good trade. I mean, it's managed so far. It's holding this level here as well. So that does look like a really good trade there, Ravinda. Really, really good.
Absolutely.
Liking that a lot, mate. Liking that a lot. So you're looking at that particular area holding. Your stops, obviously. Is this week 2 now, Ravinda, or week 3? Because you're not doing anything this week anyway, are you? I'm gonna put a couple of trend lines in here. Now your entry price up until the end of the month will be very, very safe. So let me just see this on a different chart here. Right then, so yours was there. We are in week 2, so the end of this week. So next week you can start doing something. So really you're looking at the pivot, which is at 121.40. And if your entry's there, you're looking at 121.40. There is the pivot, so you're looking at putting stops at 121.30. That should be well out of the way. That looks like a really good trade, mate. Really good trade. 121.30. There. Oh god, that's going to be right on that level, isn't it? I mean, that is the rules of the strategy. What you really want, what would really help your trade, is if by this week this area gets tested first and then moves away. Because the issue is that is right on support, and really you don't want to be there in many respects. That could have a chance of stopping you out and then keeping going. What I would do, Ravinder, is have a look at it, because if you are able to if this does come down, if you put your stops here and it takes you out, then my suggestion would be to look for a re-entry, because if that area ends up taking you out but holding, then I would look for another bar to continue this one to the upside, because it looks like it's got some room to travel, and it looks like it could go. So I'd be quite keen to hold on to this if you can. But by the rules of the strategy, 10 pips below the weekly pivot or price means that you could get stopped out, just because this is a fairly strong horizontal level, and horizontal levels do tend to get tested. So that hasn't really been tested yet this week. It's possible that this point here tested this high, but I like to look at the closing prices, and the closing prices are just a little bit below that. So it might still get tested and then go. But my suggestion, as I say, would be to try and re-enter if you get taken out. But aside from that, mate, I've got nothing else.
But awesome job, well done.
Yeah, brilliant work.
You got nothing else? I got nothing else. What time of day is it? 9 minutes at the bottom of the hour, mate. I don't even think I'm going to have a 30-minute trade at the bottom of the hour. So.
Okay, mate. Sounds good. All right. Well,
I'm good to go.
Yeah, we're going to call it for the day. We're going to call it for the year. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for joining us, guys, and thanks for all your input and keeping us company. As I say, it's been an absolute pleasure. Jeff and I do enjoy doing the show. So
absolutely, and it's great to have you guys join in. I mean, that's the whole idea, right?
Yes, it really is. It really is. So we'll be back next year. What date are we back next year? Do we know?
No, I don't know. I've got to say,
okay.
But just keep your eye on the emails and things, I suppose, and we'll post something on this channel to wit the date, I guess.
Great. All right. Well, we'll do that, guys. Have a great rest of the year, and it's great that your trading careers are off to the races. We will see you in the new year. Enjoy time with your families. Enjoy Christmas. Enjoy the new year. Enjoy it too, Jeff. I guess I'll speak to you in the new year too. I think we're probably back around about the 6th of January or something like that. So
is that the first Monday after? Yeah, it would be. Yeah. Is that a Monday?
Let me just double check. So January 6th of January. Yeah, that's the first Monday.
That'll be the day then.
Yeah.
That'll be the day. Yep.
All right, guys.
Sorry, Paul.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a great one. I'd say FTSE 100 short is, it's definitely a trade this morning. I would try and get in if you can. 30 pip stop loss and see what happens in the market. The market you know, it does need to come down and test an area. Whether it can do that at this time of asking, I don't know. So put those stops in place because the market is pretty keen. But I do quite fancy the short this morning. Okay, have a great time and have a good one, buddy. And I will speak to you in the new year.
Guys, thank you for your company. Look after yourselves and love someone, huh?
There we go. Banned from another country.